I can still remember the first show that got me into anime. The first show that literally blew my mind and made me fall in love with anime. And that was Dragon Ball GT. Yeah, as funny as that might be. And I can still remember my first reaction actually watching the show, because my dad actually bought it all the way from Singapore when he went on a business trip. And I remember the first time watching it, it was actually in Japanese dub with English subtitle. At that time, I was too young to know that I could actually switch from Japanese to English dub. So I feel like that was actually even what made me prefer watching Japanese dubbed anime to the English dubbed anime. But that's besides the point. What exactly am I trying to say? Dragon Ball GT was the first anime I ever watched. Dragon Ball GT was literally what got me into anime. And I still remember the first scene that I ever watched, and that was when Goku transformed into the Great Ozaru, and from there he went into Super Saiyan 4. To me, that was breathtaking, that was perfect, and that just made me love anime. Now, is Dragon Ball GT my best version of Dragon Ball? At all. Dragon Ball Z is actually my best version of Dragon Ball. One thing I loved about Dragon Ball GT was the power scaling, the transformation. Like, everything about Dragon Ball GT was actually nice. The only thing I would literally complain about would be that the story was a bit slow. It was like very slow paced, and when Dragon Ball GT picked up, it was just amazing. So after watching Dragon Ball GT, after a few more years, I literally went to watch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. And that was when I really could appreciate the effort and time Akira Toriyama actually put in his work. Like, that guy was very amazing. And one thing I really respected about the show was the power level. The power level was evenly scaled. Like, yes, there were some things that you could actually raise your eyebrow about, but it wasn't really apparent in the show. Like, there was a particular standard that Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball followed, and it wasn't really out of the norm whenever Goku had the power up, and at least we could calculate or we could summarize that, okay, this power is greater than this power isn't greater than this power, Super Saiyan 3 is greater than Super Saiyan 2. Like, there was an hierarchy to it. But upon watching Dragon Ball Super, that show literally broke Dragon Ball for me. Why? Because not only was the story nonsensical, the power scaling system was just broken. Like, even to this day, I'm still asking myself, what is the usefulness of Super Saiyan God? Because that transformation was so cool, but so underutilized. And at that point, I just thought maybe these people just wanted to make a quick cash grab, and they tried pumping as much of transformation as they could into the show. And at the end of the day, all this transformation lost meaning, all the power scaling lost meaning, and generally, Dragon Ball literally lost meaning. Because to me, Dragon Ball is all about power scaling, and if you cannot even do that well, that just means that you don't really know what you're doing. Now, here is my gripe with Dragon Ball Super and how they handled power scaling. Honestly, to me, I feel that power scaling in Dragon Ball Super was just handled terribly. The fact that we, to this day, cannot properly identify Biru's power and how he stacks to the rest of the old characters. I'm talking about Broly, I'm talking about Broly, I'm talking about Goku, I'm talking about Vegeta. It's extremely sad, because going into Dragon Ball Super, we found out that Beerus was using 60% of his power to fight against Super Saiyan God. So one would think that when Goku went to Super Saiyan Blue, then at that point, since Beerus is using 60% of his power, if I'm sure, then probably he would have to use like 70 or 80% to fight Goku. And when Goku went into Ultra Instinct, Goku by then would have surpassed Beerus. But honestly, I'm pretty sure that nobody can confidently tell me that even Mastered Ultra Instinct can go toe-to-toe with Beerus. Like, nobody can literally confidently tell me that, unless you are just delusional. So generally for me, I just felt that Dragon Ball broke the power system. A good example would be with the Super Saiyan Rose power stack that he literally had, where he was literally giving himself Zankai boost. Like, that thing didn't really make sense. And my own question was, who was behind the writing? Because that thing was just so very stupid. Because at one point, Goku and Vegeta would be stronger than him, then all he just has to do is get angry, and before you know it, he's stronger than Goku and Vegeta. Like, that thing was just dumb. And like, generally, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that at the rate at which Dragon Ball Super is going, if Dragon Ball Super were to come back, I feel as though they need to follow the manga. And why am I saying this? Because at least the manga still has a principle that it's following. Yes, the manga can be a bit messy, but I would say that the manga is far better than Dragon Ball Super show. And I just feel that for Dragon Ball Super to have that much impact when it comes back, they need to follow the manga to the T. Or they need to follow the manga to the T. They need to do everything bit by bit. They should not try to include the new transformation. They should not try to do any other crazy thing. They should just follow the manga, and hopefully, I feel like that will be better, because the manga really had a lot of eyes, and I really cannot wait for the manga to come back. And yeah, just generally, this is probably just a rant video on my part, because I had the opportunity of watching Dragon Ball Super, and honestly speaking, I was just disgusted. Like, me watching it really was annoying. Not only did they dumb down Goku, they made all of the characters just useless. They made Gohan catch up to Goku with Super Saiyan Rage, which to me, that's a bullshit transformation, because that transformation literally came out of nowhere. They made Piccolo catch up to Goku with the use of Dragon Ball. Like, one of the biggest questions was, if Piccolo could have done that, why didn't he just do that a long time ago and save us all there also? Like the only thing I really enjoyed in Dragon Ball Super was probably Vegeta. Like, I enjoyed this arc. I enjoyed the fact that Vegeta is a changed character. Like, Vegeta literally is my best character currently because of how he's being written. And I really enjoy Vegeta's God of Transformation technique. I really do enjoy that. I would have loved him to actually have defeated Granola. This is a spoiler for those who are not aware. I'd have really loved him to have defeated Granola. But do you know what? I'm okay with the way things are. Generally, what am I saying? I'm just saying, if the anime is to come back, like, I just hope that they follow the source material. I hope Toei doesn't try to make anything original. And yeah, just generally, this is just my thoughts and opinion. This is like one of the biggest gripe and one of the biggest problem I'm having with Dragon Ball. And this is the thing that really just makes me not enjoy the show as much as I would love to enjoy the show. So yeah, guys, that's everything I have to say in regards to my problem with Dragon Ball and why power scaling has just been destroyed. If you like anything I have to say, you know what to do. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, and I'll see you guys later.